Hello there, folks, and welcome into today's video. So I have a very interesting one that I know so many people at some point in your life, if not many times along in your life, you're going to ask yourself this question, like, when should you quit your job, okay? And so I put 15 slides here together today, and whenever I'm doing these videos on this channel, Financial Education 3, the channel that's named after myself, Jeremy Lefebvre, I'm always imagining like you're at this dining table with me. I record these videos at my dining table, and I always imagine you're just sitting here next to me and you're just wanting my opinion on this. Like, hey man, I'm thinking about quitting my job, or I want to quit my job. Should I make this move and things like that? So I put this presentation here together for you guys here today to really discuss this. I've quit my job many times in the past. And there's a famous expression or quote you might know, okay, quitting your job can be one of the best decisions you will ever make if thought through. Now, you probably never heard that in your life because I literally just made that up, okay? But literally in my life, every single time I've ever quit my job, it was the best overall decision in my life at that time and the best financial decision I ever made at that time. And I've done this so much, like I've quit my job so many times, I can't even like count them all, okay? But I'm going to take you through the exact thought process you should be going through if you're thinking about quitting your job. We're even going to talk about money. We're going to talk about like how much money you need to, let's say, quit your job, where you're at a point where you no longer want to work any job, okay? Whether it be an actual job or your own business or anything like that. What's the dollar amount, okay? So I'm going to go really in depth on this. I hope you guys really enjoy this video here today. If you don't mind, smash me a thumbs up. That helps the YouTube channel out massively. Also, if you want to join Stock Hub, if you're into stock market investing or anything like that, like I know this video will get seen by a lot of people that aren't, but if you're into stock market investing, we have a free Discord chat where you can chat stocks with a ton of other investors out there and whatnot. That's going to be linked in the description, all right? All right, guys, so let's start going into this, okay? So the first thing I want to do in this video here today is I want to change every single person's mentality watching this video right now, okay? So get ready to, what do they call it? Red pill, blue pill, whatever, okay? Get ready to have your mentality completely changed, okay? So your income is not your job. Every single person out there pretty much on this planet thinks of their job being whatever they're getting their income from, okay? That's not your job. Your income activity is not your job. Your investing is your job, okay? That's your true job, all right? This is a huge mind switch we're going through right off the bat here, okay? Massive mind switch. Because you're just like taught, like whatever you're doing, you work at, Walmart, you're assistant manager at Walmart, that's your job. No, that's your income, okay? Your investing is your job. So basically the income allows you to do your real job, right? Which is investing. So whether it be stocks, the stock market, so if you're picking individual stocks like I do, obviously, if you're just investing in an index fund or something like that, if you're doing real estate investing, if you're investing in cryptos, commodities, whatever you're doing, okay, your income is just allowing you to do your real job, which is investing at the end of the day, okay? That's your real job, okay? So when we start thinking like this, you start thinking differently about what you're doing and the financial moves you're making in your own life and things like that, okay? So my job for the past 12 years has been investing in stocks, all right? And I've done a ton of things for income, okay? But my job, my true job, is investing in stocks. My fake jobs were things that just produce me income. So whether it be back when I worked at Einstein Bagels, okay, whether it be back when I was cleaning pools and I had a small pool route for my dad's, small business, whether it be when I was working at Walgreens, whether it be when I used to ref football games. You guys know I used to ref football games like as a side job, like I think it was like Friday nights or whatever at CCV. I used to ref football games, right? Working at Quick Trip, my real estate marketing business I started from scratch. YouTube, affiliates, used to do Amazon affiliates back in the day, selling info products, whatever I've been doing along the way, that's not my job. That's just income. That's producing so I can do my real job, which is investing and building my wealth through picking individual stocks, because that's what I like to do, okay? And I also do a little bit of real estate investing now, but very small amount compared to what I'm doing in the stock market, okay? So this is really, really key. And this is a whole different way of looking at things, okay? That's the way I view my life, all right? And so question one you have to ask yourself, this is really, really important. Or are you doing what is best for your real job, which is investing? So whatever you're doing out there, you should always be thinking, am I putting myself in the best position possible for my real job, which is investing? Okay. Extremely key. You need to always be making the best decision for that investing job. Okay. So me, like I've left so many jobs, it's not even funny, okay? So I left Einstein Bagels. Why? Because I was going to make more money and probably get more hours at Walgreens. So that's why I did it. So it was a better financial decision for my real job, which is investing. I need more money to invest in stocks, right? And if I need more money to invest in stocks, I need to make more money, right? Or get more hours than what I was getting at Einstein Bagels. So I left Einstein Bagels. Then I left Walgreens. Why did I leave Walgreens? Because for my real job, which is investing, I needed even more money. So if I'm going to get even more money, I need to make more money. And so I'm going to leave Walgreens, go work at Quick Trip. So I can funnel more money into my real job, which is investing in stocks. And that's really, when I started working at Quick Trip, that's when I really started to get my accounts rolling, like boom, 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 and started really, being able to funnel money in, okay? Eventually at Quick Trip, I realized, I'm limiting myself huge by working for a company. Like, I might make an extra $5,000, $10,000 a year if next time I get promoted, but sometimes it's years before you get promoted. So you have to wait such a long time for just a $5,000 or $10,000 pay increase, right? And so eventually I had to leave Quick Trip and start my own business, my real estate marketing business. And then eventually even the real estate marketing business, I looked at that and I was like, well, I'm getting like $99 for, I was like undercutting the prices for a lot of photo jobs. And so I was doing like $99 photo jobs, right? And so I was looking at that and I'm like, well, it takes me like an hour to go do those photos. So I'm making like $99 an hour, right? Well, first off, I'm putting my time versus money, right? And that's already kind of a relationship you don't want. You want more of like, you want to try to create passive income streams and those sorts of things if you're going after income related activities, right? That's something I realized at that time. And so I'm trading time for money, but not just that. That's actually not it. I'm not even really making $99 an hour because although that job might take me, then I got to edit it. What about the drive time? What about the email back and forth to set that up? There's no way I'm actually making $99 an hour, right? And so this was really, really important. So I ended up leaving that job because I was like, well, YouTube has a much bigger opportunity for me long-term than what this real estate marketing company is doing. So although I started that and made it into a successful company and started from scratch with no connections and all those things, eventually I got to the point where I'm like, I just got to leave this behind and because I got something bigger over here. And so every single time I'm making decisions that are best for me for my real job, which is investing in stocks. And so that's the way you need to think about your own life. That's like the first question, am I making the best decision for my real job? If you're not, then what the heck are you doing, okay? So you always got to be looking should you be getting a different job? Should you be starting a side income stream? Should you be starting a business? Always making the best decision for your real job, which is investing, okay? So question number one. Question number two, are you making money, but it is hurting your main job, which is investing, okay? So just because you're making money from something here and there doesn't mean it's the best decision. Sometimes you could be actually hurting yourself, okay? So for instance, I've done things on the side while I was working different jobs. So like a pool cleaning route I used to have, that would take up a ton of my time on Saturdays, which was draining me even more from looking into stocks. I'm like, I could be spending that time looking into stocks. Could also be spending that time on leisure, which doesn't drain me as much, right? And kind of recharges me. So then I can go ahead and go harder during the week, right? When I had that reffing job, that was another thing. It was like, man, that's a bunch more time. That's a much more draining activity. The money's just not really worth it. And if I look at my own business, as I kind of expanded on YouTube and those sorts of things and expanded into more products and services and whatnot, I've hired out a ton of positions. So I used to do all my own video editing. I don't anymore. Like for my main channel, second channel, I have a full-time video editor now. I've had that for coming up on 2 years now, getting close to 2 years, because I was like, that's so much time spent that I'm editing rather than I could be doing other things. I hired a CFO. I've hired we have a huge team now. I've hired so many different people because at the end of the day, although people cost money, right? They're going to likely save me so much more money because if I'm doing if I'm editing my own videos, that's going to take an hour, 2 hours, however long, right? Each time and a bunch of videos a week, right? And think about it in this context, right? It's all time I could be spending looking into stocks, listening to conference calls, doing things like that. If I'm trying to pay out employees because I don't have a CFO and I'm trying to worry about the books and everything, oh my gosh, like that's all time that I could be spent looking into stocks and doing my real job, which is investing in stocks, right? And so I consistently make decisions that are the best decisions for my real job, which is investing. And so every time you got to be asking yourself, even if you have side income, is that the best decision for yourself? It could be, it might be, or it might not. And you might be saying you're actually hurting yourself because you're not getting to spend enough time doing your real job, which is investing, okay? So this is really, really big next, okay? Now, you might never love your fake job. Most people hate their fake job, first off, okay? Let's be honest, okay? You might never love it, but you should always love your real job, which is investing, okay? So whether you're picking individual stocks, you're just investing in the market in general, your real estate, cryptos, whatever your thing is, you should love doing that. You should truly love it. You should have a passion for it. You should find that activity fun, okay? If you don't, that's an issue, okay? But as far as your fake job, more than likely you're not going to love it. That's just like the honest truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that when you have the mentality of that income is being used to, contribute to your real job, which is investing, okay? The fake job is a money funnel to your real job, which is investing. That is the way it should always be viewed. And when you have that type of view, work is so much easier. Doing your actual job is so much easier. Even if you have to do things you don't want to do. Like when I worked at Quick Trip, I did a lot of things I didn't want to have to do, including starting out there working overnights. Like I didn't enjoy working overnights. I didn't enjoy a lot of things in that job, but I was able to do it for 4 years because I realized this is helping me build my stock account so much dang faster than if I was doing this or that, because I wasn't ready for other things that were even up to next levels at that time. So what I had in front of me, that was my best option. Clearly my best option at that time. And so I took that best option and I built up my stock accounts to, a couple $100,000. And that gave me the whole starting point where I could start businesses and I had, the capital to do it and just keep moving and had, a bunch of money in stocks that I could keep building. So that's where the magic is at. So don't ever look at it like people are like, I've got to love my job. It's like, you're probably not going to love your job no matter what. You might like it for the first few weeks, the first couple months, and then you're probably then it just becomes a job, right? And then it's like, I wake up, got to drive to this job, got to go do this job again. Like, if you're looking for the love of the income, you're probably not going to find it. I'm just going to be honest. Like, it is what it is, essentially, at the end of the day, okay? Hopefully you don't hate it. But you should just be you should just be indifferent about it. You should just be looking at it as this is my income, this is so I can invest more and more money, okay? And that helps tremendously, okay, with your mental. So now what about when to quit all fake jobs, okay? And we're talking about like you're done, okay? You're not looking for another job. You're not looking to start another business and things like that. When should you quit all your income producing things, okay? So if you make a more normal amount of money, so let's say, most people make less than $100,000 a year, okay? A lot of people that are watching this video, you guys might be making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year, okay? So if you're looking for a calculation on this, when the income from the fake job just doesn't make financial sense anymore, okay? So there's what I call the 2% rule. So let's say you make $50,000 a year, that's your income, okay? If you have a $2.5 million or more net worth, that job is probably doing you more harm than it's helping you, to be honest, okay? And this is net worth. So this is looking at your assets versus your liabilities, okay? So once again, if you make $50,000 a year, that's your income. And that's before tax, okay? That's before tax. That's like your income, okay? And you got $2.5 million or more net worth. It doesn't really make financial sense for you to still be doing that job, okay? It no longer makes sense if the income is 2% or less each year than your net worth, okay? Because imagine, if you have $50,000 income, after taxes and everything, you're probably at what, $35,000 or so? And yet you have a $2.5 million, $3 million net worth. It's, you're probably hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself. It would probably you'd probably do much better for yourself if you're more focused on actually putting that time that you're doing toward your fake job into your real job, which is investing, okay? So no longer makes sense if income is 2% or less each year than your net worth, okay? And that's if you have more of a normalish income, okay? But you might be somebody watching this video and you might have a very large income, which large income I would include as $200,000 or more a year. I would say probably 1%, or probably actually much less than 1% of the world is making $200,000 or more a year, okay? So if you're somebody watching this with a large income, what's your situation? So if we're going by the same 2% rule, it doesn't really make sense, okay? So for instance, myself, I make, $500,000 or more a year just from like the ads that are shown on my YouTube vids, right? So that would mean I need $100 million plus net worth if we're going by the 2% rule, right? That just doesn't really, make financial sense, right? That seems a little insane, okay? So if you have a big income, $200,000 plus a year, the 2% rule doesn't really apply to you, okay? Here's how I would personally do it, okay? When the income activity is holding back your investing, okay? And this happens at a certain point in time where it just doesn't make sense for you to continue to do that income opportunity, even if you make $400,000 a year from that, $600,000 a year, $800,000 a year, $1.5 million a year. At some point, you just have so much invested already that it really doesn't matter what you're making income-wise. It's likely hurting you more than it's helping you, okay? I'll probably, if we're looking at myself, I'll probably leave YouTube, which is what I would consider my fake job, within the next 5 years. It'll probably happen over a certain amount of time. I'll start, eventually producing less and less videos, and eventually, kind of age out. I don't want to call it age out, but eventually it just won't make financial sense for me to be putting in all that time to making YouTube videos. Even if I'm making let's say I have $100 million in stocks, and let's say I'm making $1 million a year from YouTube. It just doesn't make sense, because all that time I'm putting into making YouTube videos, even if it's producing me out $1 million, is such a small amount compared to stocks. Because if I got $100 million in stocks, okay, and I make 20%, which, over the last several years, I've been able to make, far better return on investment than 20%. I'm getting 50% plus the last several years in a row, okay? But let's just say 20% on 100 mil, that's $20 million, okay? Versus, let's say I was making $1 million from YouTube. So at a certain point in time, it doesn't matter how much I make from YouTube, it will be a super bad return on investment for me. So eventually, over time, although I make really good money from YouTube, eventually over time, it just will no longer make financial sense, because it'll just be holding me back in the end. Once I get to a certain point where it's just because investments just keep building and keep building, keep building. Never mind if you got $100 million and you get a 50% ROI on that. That's $50 million, okay? You know what I mean? So eventually it just won't make sense. And if you might get to this place in your life where you've got a really good job, and I come across people all the time. There's people in my private stock group that I'm looking at them and they make really good money from their job. They might make $300K a year, $400K a year. But I'm looking at some of them and they've got $8 million now invested in stocks, $10 million, $12 million. And I'm like, I don't tell them this, but I start thinking to myself, I'm like, they need to quit their job. Seriously, they need to focus full-time on investing. They're doing very well for themselves as a side thing, but honestly, they need to be focused on that full-time now, because what they're making from that job over there, that's, they're making $300K from, they got $10 million invested now. Honestly, they need to be focused more on just, investing at the end of the day, okay? So that's kind of the way I view it if you have a big income, okay? Now, another thing to keep in mind here, okay? Put a lot of thought in before you ever quit your job. I'm talking about whether you're quitting your job, where you're done with the workforce, or you're just, maybe moving on to the next thing, whether it's starting a business or getting on to your next job or something like that. Make sure you put in plenty of thought. People are way too rash in their decision making, and they think they just gotta want to make an overnight decision. You need to put in a lot of calculated thought. I was plotting out quitting from Quick Trip for probably 2 years, if not more than 2 years before I actually did it, okay? These things have to be plotted way ahead of time. When I was thinking about, shutting down my real estate marketing company and focusing on YouTube full time, it was something I was thinking about for probably over 6 months. Probably over 6 months. You got to think about these things way in advance. That's how you make a good decision, okay? And lastly, don't be scared. So many people are so scared to make a decision like this. don't be scared of this, okay? You know, part of this is having confidence in yourself, and part of it is having faith, but especially if you got something else lined up that's better, like, don't be scared to make that move. A lot of people like live in this world where they're so scared to ever make a decision. They're so scared to ever leave that company. They're so scared to ever move away from their hometown. They're so scared to make any of these big decisions in life. And the fact is, if you really want to get to where you're trying to get to financially in life, you can't be scared. You got to think these things through before you make the moves, and then you got to go execute it. And you got to go make that move, okay? And so don't live in a fear mindset where you're just like, I can't leave my $55,000 a job year because I've been working here for 11 years, and if I leave it, I'm like, what's stopping you from applying for a job where you make $70,000 or $80,000, so you can produce a lot more money that you can put toward your real job, which is investing, right? This is really, really important stuff, guys. So this is my advice on this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share it out if you ever got any friends or family that are ever thinking about quitting their job, making a move. I think this is a video that will definitely help them. I've done this, like I said, countless times in the past, and it's always produced me way better results, every single time. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you don't mind, smash the thumbs up. If you want to join us in Stock Hub, feel free to. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video, and I hope it helps you in your decision making out there. Peace, guys.